Welcome. We're out of the sun here. It's Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium on a Sunday. There's so much heat in the air, humidity, but we have a breeze coming in which will give some relief to both the Women's Premier League teams going out there this afternoon. We've had two games prior to this. The Yappers had a 2-0 win over... who was it, Alex?
Litchfield.
Thank you. That's why Alex is here, because she knows so much. Come in a bit closer for me too, Alex. Alex Fulton, who will be doing our expert commentary today as well. And then last night we had your good self going around with Kazarina up against Hellenic, and that one was a
1-1 draw.
Thank you very much. So we now move into our third game for this first round of the 2021 season of the Women's Premier League. Alex Fulton, thank you for coming in today to give your expert comments during this game. Now, you were out there yesterday, just a little bit insight into how it felt in terms of the heat, the humidity, and you had an hour later start.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty accustomed to the heat and humidity now, but we've got a few new girls from down south and it hit them hard, I think. They weren't expecting it.
I was looking at some of the reserve grade players then between Mindil and Hellenic, and some of them that had played Premier League the night before seemed to cope, but those others that came out for the first time, that really felt it.
Yeah, especially this time of the day, that's the heat of the sun on you as well. Even, if you keep up your fluids, it's still going to hurt.
Yeah, whatever fluid you put in, it's gone by the time you run that next 20-metre run. Listen, I've got a question about tonight's two teams. We've had player movement between on the off-season, which is always good to see. For a neutral like myself, it's like, how are they going to go? Are they going to marry well into that football club? And it's just so good. There were two stories of this, the player movement, but also what Steve has done down at Port Darwin with the women. He's got them up into Premier League. So first of all, let's just talk about Port Darwin. What do you expect from them today?
Yeah, well, they've been training as a team since January, so probably one of the first teams to actually start pre-season. So I expect them to actually play well as a team. And now Mindil, I understand they've only been together for a couple of weeks because of AFL. So they may still be a bit disjointed, but they've got some quality young players, as you know, Bruce, who are now in their third year of Prem. Yeah. So their experience, they'll know how to keep possession and draw Port in, and then hopefully hit them on the counter maybe.
Yeah, I think that will be one of their plans. Dave McMillian back in touch of as the coach of the women's team there at Mindil, a champion of the male sport, as is Stephen from Port Darwin. It's really important, and my final question to you is how important it is to have people support, advocate, stand hard on the ground around women and girls football and make sure there's equity.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from the young girls' point of view, it's good. They need those role models in senior players, but also some good coaches too. And it's not always easy coaching girls. So for blokes like Steve to come in, and obviously Dave with his daughters, they do an outstanding job, really.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. That is Alex Fulton, who'll be with us on this coverage today, live streaming right across Australia on the FNT TV network. We hope you sit back, enjoy the first 45 minutes. We will see Mindil, last year's grand finalists, take on the new and emerging Port Darwin in the Women's Premier League for 2021. Last game, round one. And welcome to Larrakia Park, where We're at Darwin Football Stadium on Larrakia Nation. First of all, I want to acknowledge the elders of the Larrakia Nation, the saltwater people in the beautiful part of Darwin in the Northern Territory. I want to acknowledge their elders past, present and those emerging for permission to play a beautiful game of football here this afternoon, featuring last year's grand finalists, and in their traditional bumblebee strip we'll be playing, and that's Mindil Aces, and they're up against a team that has just come into the Premier League for women for the first time in Port Darwin, and I'm joined by Alex Fulton. Alex, we're just saying in the pre coverage for this game that Port Darwin have been together training since January, so you expect they're going to have more uniformity and unity than probably Mindil, who came late to the occasion.
That's right. That's my prediction. Whether it plays out on the field is another matter. But they definitely have been putting in the hard yards with training. Obviously, as you know, my husband's involved with Port as president, so yeah, I've been heard how much hard work they've been putting in the background.
Yeah, of course you play for Casuarina. You were here last night, had a 1-1 draw against Hellenic, two champion clubs, and respectful of the women's game. And what was your first hit out, just personally for yourself and then for both teams you saw on the day?
Yeah, look, a 1-1 draw, we would have obviously liked to come away with 3 points, but we're happy with the draw. Personally, I think we could have won it if we... especially towards the end, but we'll go back to training this week and work on a few things.
What do you think of Hellenic as well? They played a few young kids, and I like Sophie McCrillis, the young little one up the number 9.
Yep, they got some young talent there, definitely, and I think they use young subs really well. Yep. They brought them on with 10-15 minutes to go. They had that extra bit of energy when some of our legs were tiring. So actually, I think they really used their young ones well there.
Excited about football being back. It was 189 sleeps, mate. Seriously, that is far too long. I love the women's game, and I must note also that you sit on our women's standing committee, and that's a really important constitutional platform within the organisation of football in the Northern Territory, across the Northern Australia, to be honest, where we're going to have to and will do so much better as we lead up to the 2023 World Cup. And I'll talk about Australia and Germany somewhere during the game. No sleep last night, but anyhow. So you're in that role as well. So you play, you coach, and you're also in an administrative role for us. So, the women's game means a lot to you.
Look, I've played for a few years now, and my daughter obviously plays, and I've got involved in coaching, and it's something that I'm keen to. Now I'm reaching the end of my playing days, is to give back to the game, and hopefully, contribute some of my knowledge and things I've picked up over the years to the younger lot coming through. And I know Jackie, who I coach with, is the same too. So.
Yeah, well, I'd like to talk a little bit more about that as we go through what will be a fairly warm 45 minutes for the both teams that are out here on Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. So just weather-wise, we're around 33, 34 degrees, and it maybe feels like 37 or 8. And Mindil on an early raid down the what will be the left flank for them. They're running from right to left on your screens. They're in their traditional yellow and black stripe, they're running into a breeze also that's sort of coming in from the north-northwest. It's picked up as well, which will be good and add some relief. Humidity still around 78%. And for those who don't know the Northern Territory, up here in the Darwin, it's certainly the tropics, and it's supposed to be the end of our wet season coming up. We've had a bit of rain around last night, yesterday as well, and of course part of that is the heat. So they will feel it, though. We have shadow and shade heading across the pitch from behind the grandstand. So we'll see how this one goes. Early on, both players and both sets of teams are pretty much in the one section here in the central field. Calls early. Let a ball will run harmlessly down to someone we would normally see in the central defensive role in Cassie McWilliam. And Cassie can play anywhere, Alex, and now she's in the keeper role.
Oh, look, she's a terrific defender, so as a player I'm quite glad she's in between the sticks and one less player to deal with. But and I certainly know she plays AFL, so she's probably got good hand-eye coordination there.
Look, Eva, and then we just had Matilda Carter on the rebound, running back towards goal and put a boot to it. There's always that fear that it's going to go towards your own goal. But Matilda's a very, even for her age, I think she's just 16, but she's an experienced 16. She's been playing Premier League for some time. And to your point earlier, when we were setting up today's live streaming, she's had 3 or 4 years now in the Premier League, which is just brilliant.
And she's probably been playing since she was 6 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
10 years of playing soccer, and she's a very versatile player too. So she's quite comfortable playing midfield or dropping back as a defensive role. So, and they certainly, I think, have their defensive duties cut out, because between them, I think 2 of the Port players scored 28 goals last year in reserve. So they'll be keen to kickstart the season with some goals, I'm sure.
I liked Pierre Kalakis then, just took a short corner kick to herself. Pierre's a really accomplished footballer as well, playing for Port Darwin, and they'll enjoy having her in the first side. Look out for her early run, then picked up. Assistant referee offside. Running up to around the 2.5 minutes of this third game of round 1 of the 2021 season of the Women's Premier League. I want to thank McDonald's, Maccas, who are supporting all women's football this year in the Northern Territory, next year as well. Came on for a 2-year agreement. Great to have them involved. And they'll certainly give us more opportunities in the women and girls space with their sponsorship. And more importantly, they're a company up here that will work very closely with us on making sure that we get as much benefit as we can from the support. Players had to come from the field to have a change of kit. And we'll be back in, be playing with 10 men while that's being rectified. A long ball from centre will roll away to the furthest corner from where we are in their broadcasting area. It will run out of play, and this will be a second corner for Port Darwin. They're running from left to right on your screen in their traditional claret and blue. That's going to be a goal kick, apologies. So Cassie McWilliam is featured already on 2 occasions in that goalkeeping role. There'll be a battle personally between those two. Tegan McWilliam, number 7, and I've mentioned number 10 for Port Darwin, and Pierre Kalakis. That's Hannah Garland with a casual left footer over the top, trying to find Tegan on the run. Nice little centred ball from the right back, which is Rebecca Grattan.
Yeah, so I think Rebecca is a new signing to Port. She didn't play last year.
Right.
I think she's moved up from Sydney, I understand. So she's played a bit down south, and Port probably glad of an experienced player to build in with their players from last year.
And looking like she's going to play in a right side of the central defence, with a right back in number 7, which on today's team sheet is Niam Whittle. And ball will scoot across the grass towards Cassie McWilliam in goal. She'll take that firmly into the belly and do a rollover with the left arm to assist to Tegan. Mindil now have 11 players back on the pitch after that bit of repair work on one of their players. So we're back to a 10 in the outfield either side, and keepers, of course, patrolling their areas. That's Whittle now with a long throw. Goes over the back of, Whittle on the back of a long throw from number 2, which is Rebecca Grattan. Whittle throws in again for Port Darwin. Players will be enjoying the shade down there. Strong play from the Mindil defender there. We'll get a number plate. Player I haven't seen in the Mindil colours in the Women's Premier League last year. May have been playing reserves. We'll find more out about this emerging squad for them as well. This is a player we saw a lot of. Marinelle Joanne with her sister, Rachel. Rachel will be playing up front wearing number 9 for Mindil. Football and all sports great, Alex. You can play with family members. Here we have a couple, a number of sisters playing on each side,
There's definitely a strong family link, and certainly in a couple of clubs. And I guess that's how a lot of people get into the game, is playing with their brothers and sisters, cousins,
Yep.
aunties, uncles. So.
Absolutely, and particularly in a town where there's a 1 degree separation in Darwin. Everyone knows each other. And so, early move on the sunny side of Larrakia Park, what we call the North Crest scoreboard side. Throw-in will come. Can't see the player from there. Over there, it looks like it would be Michaela Ridley taking that throw in. Offside. So if you just joined us, Mindil Aces are running from right to left on your screen. They were in last year's grand final, which was an absolutely epic game of football, won by Hellenic in the end by the narrow margin of 1-0, and late in the game, if I remember rightly, in extra time as well.
Yeah, I think it went to penalties that game, didn't it, Bruce? It was both teams looked exhausted at the end of that 120 minutes.
But it's just the potential in women's football, not only here but around the country. There's some spectacular football. It was just an almighty game. Right, a player we mentioned a couple of times. That's a lovely ball onto the front. Unfortunately, she's offside, but she's shown early on she's got the run. And we're talking here about Brooke Fazer. She'll time those runs better as this game goes, and she will be dangerous. Fleet of foot over the first 20 metres. And you can see what Port will do. They'll set that up and push the flanks, where she in number 11, and at this side in number 9, little live wire in Amber Lee Higginson, who will run all day into the ground and back out again. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I think she got 18 goals last year in reserve, so she definitely can put them away if she has the opportunity.
She'd like to translate that to some Premier League this year as well.
I think so, yep.
Right, this is Marielle Jawan, puts the ball through to her sister, and that's Rachel Jawan, who's on the run. Good defensive work from the back two. And again, the central defender there in Grattan got that ball away. Well played by the first pressure that's been put on Port Darwin. Now they're on a quick counter. Amber Lee on the run. And Matilda Carter in there, clearing up as she normally will. Entertaining football, end-to-end stuff in this Women's Premier League match for 21, first round of the season. So good to see football back at Larrakia Park. Sunday afternoon, this game kicked off at 5 o'clock, so if you just joined us, we've only had 9 minutes. Early parts of the season, everyone's getting their technique right, including throw-ins. Alex?
I call it the Darwin throw-in, actually. There's been more foul throws in Darwin than 10 years in Brisbane, I reckon.
We it's part of the casual nature, mate. Matilda Carter on the ball. Matilda, nice ball through. Got to keep that first touch in. She does on this occasion. And that's Rhea Gray. Rhea also a new member of this Women's Premier League side for Mindil Aces, number 10 on the ball then. First touch really important, Alex. It's something you teach as a coach, something you try and aspire to every game.
If you can't control the ball, doesn't matter what else you do to try and make up. It's that first touch is so key. And it all comes from body movement initially, so...
Absolutely. Strong stuff from Amber Lee there.
Yep, she's certainly quick, and that was a good ball into danger area, but Matilda Carter read it well there.
Which she'll do. Right, Pierre Kolakis on the ball. She rolls one across. Cleaned up by Michaela Ridley, looks like.
Don't rush it, slow it down.
And that's Vanessa Cianchioli. We'll get that surname right. Vanessa, she's the captain of Port Darwin today. And I go to the phonetic spelling and assistance to commentators, and it's blank. Thank you, surrender. We'll sort that out later. Now, Marielle Jawan on the ball, always dangerous, always looking up, plays look-up football.
Yes, that's the second time I think she's got in a good opportunity.
Yep.
She's got a bit of pace on her.
Yeah, she does.
Just, not quite there with the pass to support.
And it's good to see Tina Stoll back. That's number 15. Playing in the central defensive role. Here's an opportunity. Still onside. had no energy. It's so hot on that side of the field.
Yeah, that was a very good opportunity there. All the player needed to do was take a touch and smash it in. It could have potentially been the first goal, but...
Yeah. So Julia Martin had a couple of defenders around her from Port, which put her off.
Yeah. And that's the art of defending. Get your body in the way.
Yeah, and as a forward, you know, as a striker, you often, even if they're not there, you think they are. So heading out to take this corner will be Kylie Whitaker. Kylie's on the Northcrest scoreboard side in the full sun. She'll raise her hand up to a brow to shield some of that sun. She's fine, doesn't need to. She moves in with her left foot. It's close to the line there. Tegan McWilliam got through, came off a shin. And so as a result of that, will be a goal kick.
I think this is the first goal kick for Port, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this one.
First time to see Kelsey Tom as well, the keeper, all in the pink kit today. For Port Darwin, they're running from left to right in the screen. First time into the Premier League for the women's side.
Play the whistle!
Referee's wording in now. Heavy collision between Rachel Jawan, and we'll get the number plate of the Port Darwin player in a minute. Concern being shown. Bench required. So if I know Steve, you'll be doing, yep, thought so, sports training and coaching. That's Steve Brockway, the coach, champion for women's football.
Yeah, it looked like she was just caught there, so maybe she landed funny. Certainly sort of no intent in the challenge.
Alex, we saw this, and that's about injuries. They're just extraordinary. You know, and I've been in football a long, long time, and you see some weird ones. Last night, Deanne Newell, the keeper for Casuarina, was just walking, and then whack, he felt it, and he's as tough as, and he had to leave the field. You know, so it doesn't need a collision. No. It can just be a simple, awkward fall, or in his case, a twist.
And I think yesterday evening there was a number of cramps in the men's Premier League and the women's. So
next year I'm going to run a charity thing for $20 for every cramp.
Yeah,
mate, we'll make someone a lot of money.
There'll be enough to send the NTC kids away for that.
That's
for sure.
Exactly. That's for sure. NCC being our national training centre, in which Alex Fulton works with us on developing the next and emerging young women and girls in football in the Northern Territory. She's going to have to go from the field. That's number 4. She does so. That's Caitlin Pratton. All players on both sides took that opportunity to get some plenty of fluid into them and also plenty of air into the lungs. And a casual restart. So it will be a restart. Once the ball's restarted, the player will come in from the side. Referee gives her the okay, as his referees wants. They let you make your weight. So she's off the field at the moment with a hand to her brow, shooting from the sun. I assume she'll be called on shortly. And now is. So returning to the field after that collision.
Yep, good to see she's up and running quickly.
Yeah.
It's nothing serious.
So that's Caitlin Pratton back on her feet. Some strong work from Julia Martin there on their right flank, number 18. Tegan McWilliam in there clearing up. She'll do that all day. Hannah Garland on the ball now. Yes. 11 for Mindil. Take this opportunity to thank Ward Keller, also supporting women's football in the Northern Territory. Ward Keller, the Territory law firm. If your personal and business dispute resolution, that's where you head. The number is 1-800-978-360. 1-800-978-360. Ward Keller, the Territory law firm. Right, we'll have a throw in. And the furthest point from us in the broadcast area in the shade, comfort and the seating of the grandstand. Very different for the players out there. All 22 will be feeling this heat. Still well and truly over 32 degrees. Little respite from the breeze, but not much. Can Mindil make something of this? As the rush across field goes back to McWilliam. Tegan, that is. Sister Cassie in goal today. That's Hannah Garland, who's experienced in this side. She turns, tries to put one back inside But there are plenty of claret and blue from the Port Darwin, and I'll clear that away. It'll come away for 3. And that's July So. I hope that's how we pronounce your surname, July. Now it's an opportunity for a counter from them. Ball's put through. Marielle Joanne on the run. And Higginson as well. McWilliam comes in, clears it away. Nice and comfortably. Whitaker goes back to Carter. Carter's come forward on this play. Lovely ball through to Tegan. Tegan McWilliam on the run now. Ups against Grace Doty. Grace, a central defender with Uni Zuri last year. Good player, great kid, and successfully managed that one. Raid from Tegan and Mindil. Back with McWilliam again. She sees Whitaker on the left. Goes centre to Rachel Jawan. She turns and takes a long-range shot. Body weight not right, positioning, and so pretty much dribbles away from the foot into the safe hands of Kelsey Tom, keeper for Port Darwin. This will run out, and Marielle Juan will get us underway from Mindil's side. Grandstand side they are now in the shadow and shade. On this live streaming of our last game of round 1 of the Women's Premier League for 2021. Pierre Kolakis threading one through and finds the dedicated partner Nikita McMurray. Pierre with the ball again. She's got a run here. And Whittle had an opportunity, but Linda Carter back, Melissa Carter,
Give her again.
Matilda Carter, sorry, and clearing that up easily.
Yeah, good work.
Just gave you 3 names, Matilda.
And again.
And McMurray dispossessed. That's a loose ball and dangerous run across field. Higginson onto it, pushes it forward.
Cross.
Fraser on the roll. And good defensive work from 18, Julia Martin. Came back from a long way to deal with that one. And good defensive work from number 18. You want your... she's going back into attacking position.
Go.
Came back, Alex, and did the work.
Send it.
Yeah, Matilda Carter did well there, read the ball,
Yeah.
playing and carried it out as well.
Grace on the ball again for her side, clears it away. Hannah Garland comes in to tag team with Rachel Jawan, but the ball will bounce once into the hands of Kelsey Tom. She'll use all of her area, moves out, puts a boot to it, a lot of height, more than length. It'll come down. Kolakis with a back heel. Ball remains with Port Darwin. Great challenge from McWilliam.
Give it go.
Looking for a run from Whitaker.
Help her. Press. Come on.
Hannah Garland still with the ball, number 11 from Mindil. They're running from right to left on the screen. Etching ever closer to the goal. Now dispossessed and the counter's on for Port Darwin. The ball will run away to the side where Michaela Ridley will turn with one kick and put the ball towards Julia Martin.
Good. Press.
And cleared away by McMurray. Known as Nick to the squad, but Nikita McMurray. No scores yet, 20 minutes already passed on the Northcrest scoreboard. This will be the final game of our first round back for the 2021 season. So good to have the football back. She will have a shot, Casey, and does. Sorry, Tegan, and does. Cleared away by Grace, but only as far as Whitaker. Loose first touch from Whitaker, could have brought it down for an opportunity. Still's with her. Carter, beaten by Grace, who's made a long run forward for her, the central defender, number 5 for Port Darwin.
Second. Go,
Gets a rebound ball into her as well.
Hustle.
And Rebecca Grattan clears it away. They're very bunched up at the moment, but as you say, first game of the year, Alex. And this is a big pitch. You know, we're playing at our widest and our longest. So we bring it in 3 times a year.
Stand her.
But this is the biggest you'll play on.
Keep going.
That's Tina Stoll, who's brought down Higginson. Tina goes back to see how she is.
Yeah, Mindil seemed to have just come alive the last 5 minutes. They've strung a few chances together. They're probably getting settled on the ball now.
That's what I love about our game, Alex. It's just momentum movement. You know, some are up, some are down. Next time it's their opportunity. And where it comes from is usually often surprising. It can be one special bit of work from a player, a word from a coach, an incident on the other side. It's amazing what triggers it. Right, Kolakis on the ball, number 10 for Port Darwin. Pushing forward. She wants to see some tall timber in there. And that'll be provided by Rebecca Grattan making the run now. Is that ball going to come near? No, Matilda Carter in with a lovely header. Clears it well and truly from her goal. This ball will run out and will be a ricochet off that Grattan, who went forward. This enables Hannah Garland to move down the line, but cleared up. That's Ria Gray. She goes back to Marinelle. Joanne, Matilda Carter. Beautiful ball across to Julia Martin. And it's a race to the line between Martin and Julie. Oh no, sorry, it's July. So,
yeah, the ball just ran away from Julia there. That would have been a good opportunity and a great ball from Matilda.
Was. Great vision. As a footballer, she's very good at anticipating other players' movements, but also looking for space to thread balls, and she did a fine job then. Number 12, Matilda Carter for the Mindil side. Cassie McWilliam as calm as ever.
Yeah, and I guess that's the advantage of having a confident defender in goal, is that you know that you can play it back to them and they can actually play a bit.
She's so relaxed in everything she does. So, July with the ball now. Hand up to her face, blocking some of that sun, which is pretty searingly hot on that side of Larrakia Park. Sunday afternoon football here, Women's Premier League. Thank you for joining us on this live streaming. Hope you're enjoying it. Alex Fulton is our expert commentator today. My name is Bruce Stalder. Always good to bring you football. Always extra special to bring you women's football. And this will be, as I said, the final game of round one. Been a lot of sleeps, about 190 of them to get here today. So really appreciative of both squads, both clubs, and the technical area and coaches involved. Right, opportunity here. Ball over the top. It's a foot race. Grace Doty to get there first. No, Whittaker doesn't. Ross one off. And well done to Kylie Whittaker. What you see there, Alex? One thing, never give up.
No, that's it. She it looked like Port had her for pace there, but she actually managed to win the ball and ran between the two defenders, so there wasn't quite that communication there in the back line.
Yeah, and as a keeper too, you know, you had Kelsey Tom there, thought it had it covered, but you just get that sort of that away left hand. It's like a nice little golfing shot in some ways.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a toe poke. But
yes, it was.
It goes in, it goes in.
You'll take it. And that was only about a couple of balls wide of the left upright of Kelsey Tom's goals. So Port Darwin with a goal kick to get it restarted. That's Grattan again, got a nice right footer on her. She's pushed it far afield, not into the offensive half as yet. Now it is, but cleared away quickly by Hannah Garland. Little challenge there from Ria Gray and the captain of Port Darwin, which is Vanessa. I think it's Sian Kilo. We'll get that right, Vanessa, before the season's out, I'm sure. Julia Martin just potching one over the top. Julia.
Yeah, another good opportunity there for Mindil. Just shows you when you've got a pacey young forward, they can get on the end of anything.
Yeah, and that's what Rachel Joanne is, pacey. Well, those two players at it again. The captain of Port Darwin and Ria Gray from Mindil in the central of the park. Tina Stoll with a one out away, but it's going to run away from the other Joanne's sister in Marinelle. Kolakis with the ball, goes back to Grattan. Grattan pushes one forward. A rare error from Matilda. Shows you Higginson, she will not let up the number 9 for Port Darwin. Puts a cross across everyone. Promising stuff from Port Darwin.
Yeah, it is pretty end to end. It's coming thick and fast now.
Players taking this opportunity. A few hands and teacups and teapots happening already. Hands on hips, getting the air in.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised there's no drinks break in this game because
Yeah.
it is pretty warm and
And the rules are pretty clear in that, having set the rules. Referee's supposed to talk to the coaches. I would have thought today would have been a mozza for it. I'll check that. 27 minutes on the Northcrest scoreboard. This is the Women's Premier League here in the Northern Territory. Thank you for joining us on this live streaming on FNT TV right around the country. I hope you're enjoying it. The final match of what is the first round of the 2021 season. Good interception there. Nice energy from Whittle. Number 7 for Port Darwin in the right back position.
Flick on, Tegan. Flick on. Go. Go. Chase it. Go, Tegan. Go, Tegan. Unlucky.
And it looks like Nick McMurray's on this side now, Alex. She was on the other side before. She's come over here unless she's... which a lot of teams did on the weekend. Just swapped over their, often their right and left backs, also their left and right wingers.
well, I think especially this stage of the season, it's when you notice players on the field getting tired.
Yep.
You do switch to ease that sort of. It's all coming down one side.
Yep.
No, it's certainly something we did yesterday.
Okay.
And gives them a quick breather, time to reset.
Stoll with the ball back into the play. It's Gray. Dispossessed. Kalakis strong on the ball. Head up. Lovely ball through. And Whittle just couldn't bring that in. Enterprising play from Port Darwin.
Yeah, another good run there from number 7. Is it Neem Whittle? I think she played in the defence game back in November.
Yes, yeah. And Port Darwin has a number of male and female players who are part of the Defence Force of Australia. Of course, Darwin has a number of bases here. Robinson Base, also the naval base there in the harbour, and of course the amazing Tyndall base down at Katherine for the Air Force. So it's great to see those who serve our country also playing the game they love. Grattan with that lovely right foot, nice balance when she comes in to kick the ball. She got all of it then. There's the captain putting a ball through, kicked up by Hannah Garland. Marielle Jawan now turns it back inside, trying to find Gray, does so. Gray's got Whittaker here, goes to Whittaker. Nice dummy. Now she has the ball, it's going to go out of play unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a good turn there. I just think she was a bit undecided whether she was going to pass or run, and it didn't quite come off.
And you only get like a couple of metres there to make that decision. She was so tight to this sideline. And if you look now, if you just joined us, you'll see every player, bar the poor old keepers, in the shade. Joanne with that, off from Gray header, now goes to the other Joanne. Joanne will push it through for Gray. Nice run from Gray. Can she get ahead of Grace Doty? Grace comes in again. Strong work from the central defender for Port Darwin. Well played. Marinelle sends it back in. Joanne. This time Grattan in there. Whittle. Whittle shows a nice turn, trying to thread a ball through to Higginson. Higginson now receives it. She's got Carter in front of her. They'll have a battle, those two, all day. Pushes around. Can something result from this? Higginson with an early pass in. Stoll's there. She goes back to Carter. And Carter will roll this through. A beautiful ball to Garland. She's going to have pressure here. Good work from the captain for Port Darwin. Pursuing on there. Goes through McWilliam, which is very hard to do. Sets it up for McMurray. And Carter will clean up again, though, for Mindil. Plenty of action. Yet to see a goal. 30-minute mark on our scoreboard. Thank you to Northcrest.
Yeah, Carter's done very well there twice in a row. She's cleaned up. She did just enough defensively to put Higginson in the corner and under pressure.
Yeah, she's like you. There's about 20 of you. You've got engines that, could actually push a battleship, and she's one of them. I'm going to do a practice on that. I'm going to put you on one of those little rowboat things and see if you can move a ship. And she'll run all day. Matilda Carter, number 12, hands on hip at the moment. Taking some deep breaths. Been very active in this first 31 minutes for Mindil. That's a good ball in from Grattan again. She's got a lovely right foot. You'll never know with Cassie McWilliam whether she was trouble then. She just calmly put her hands down, picked it up, closed it into her chest, and we're underway again. Oops.
And again.
And it's the captain smiling because she's nearly knocked out Grace Doty. Didn't, thankfully.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication there again, I think.
And there'll be a bit of that
defenders
first game.
going
yes.
the same ball.
You see a bit of that. Caitlin Pratton back there, but cleared away by the keeper, Tom. And Kelsey's ball will run to around the couple, maybe 2 metres into the Mindil side of this half. At Larrakia Park on Darwin Football Stadium's main pitch. We have a reserve grade game going next door for the men. We had a reserve grade game before between Hellenic and Mindil, won by Hellenic on this pitch we're on now. We've got 10 teams in the women's reserve grade, which is a brilliant story in itself. Whittaker and Whittle, the W's at it. It's still come off. No, Whittaker kept it in, goes back to Jawan. Marinelle has a chance to push it across. She does that, finds her sister. No, interception. Nice timely one from Grace Doty. Comes at Garland again. Great work from Doty. McWilliam cleans it up. And that's a ball from July. So, Koulakis puts a ball through. The race is on. McWilliam's going to stand her ground.
That was offside, yep.
That is the rule with assistant referees. Thank you, FIFA. So all the audience has to wait, all the people watching at home.
That's it. An extra 10 yards of running before the flag goes up.
And I say it's an extra 20 seconds for someone to abuse an assistant referee. Unnecessarily so.
But yeah, you could see Jacinta had her eye on that.
Yeah, she was ready to go.
She was running.
Yeah, Jacinta Missop we're talking about, the assistant referee here on the grandstand side.
Flick on.
Over the top.
Go, player.
Of the number of players. Now it's Hannah Garland on a foot race. Up against Grattan. And Kelsey Tom showing really a little poise there. Just watch the ball roll past goal.
Yeah, I was expecting that maybe to slip in. We saw a couple of freak goals on Friday for the Yappers.
Oh, there was, wasn't there?
Mags to us, but Teresa Sigcole with a little toe poke that just snuck in the corner there.
Yeah.
I thought that might be a repeat.
A repeat of that one. It's good to see Margie playing football again, like last night.
Yeah,
on Friday night. Right, after that bit of excitement, we settle down. It's Grattan on the ball again. Puts the ball into the centre, finds McMurray. Murray has a chip. She chips over the top. This is hard work for July So. So the two number threes nearly on the ball together. And Michaela Ridley put that one out of play. Michaela's made that right back position hers with the Mindil Aces. Coached by Dave McWilliam. Has two daughters out there and had a third one that also played, the eldest. And has been president of the Mindil Club for some time. And still is the current male champion nationally for women's football, given the Rebel Female Football Week Awards didn't happen this year. Right, Higginson on the ball. Will she try a little dink over the top? She goes along the ground, intercepted by Stoll, and Tina puts that one into the fence and into the sunshine. 35 minutes have passed on the North Crest scoreboard. Thank you to Macca's, McDonald's, great supporters and will be for this year and 22 of women's football in the Northern Territory. I want to thank all the team there at McDonald's for their support of the women's game. Throw in from July So. Comes off McMurray's head and will roll over. We'll come back for a goal kick. So, Alex, have you seen what you thought you'd see? 35 minutes?
Yeah, it's pretty even so far. Both teams have had a couple of opportunities. Mindil probably the most clear-cut chances. And both teams seem to be settling a bit more on the ball and string some passes together now.
And how do you physically feel 10 minutes from the end of each half? I'm asking the wrong person, but for the average player out there.
The average player now, you could see them tiring. There's a few hands on hips. They'll be glad to go in at halftime and get some fluids down them, I think.
Yep, and some words from their coaches, Steve from Port Darwin and Dave with the Team running right to left on your screen. That's Mindil Aces. Right, the ball's an opportunity for Higginson, who's been busy. This time she's been caught offside. Referee's ignoring her assistant referee. Now sees that. Coach Steve Rockway with a instruction. Check your run to her front 3, which seemed to be Higginson on the left. McMurray seems to have a roving opportunity to come forward when she wants to. Number 8. And a player that's really impressed already, which is Brooke Fraser, number 11. She's got plenty of fight in her and pace when she needs it. Carter puts the ball through. And that McMurray, who we mentioned earlier, has the ball. Higginson was offside, so the ball's been pushed forward. You can see Brooke Fraser with her endeavours there. Picked up by Tina Stoll. Well done, Tina. Goes back to Stoll from the keeper. Mindil in possession down here in the far corner on the favoured left side of Cassie McWilliam. Puts a lovely ball through. It comes off Whittaker, off the body of Whittaker. Now Hannah Garland on the run. Always interesting and exciting on a foot race. Grattan has not given up. Great work from the number 2 for Port Darwin. Here's a try for Gray. Pushes again to Joanne, and then Grattan gets in again and clears away. The ball's still not cleared away. Still dangerous. The bomb's still ticking. Takes the shot, and it's over the top. She's a little absolute dynamo, old Rachel Joanne. Don't let her on the ball for a second. Got to make mention of both. You know, the run by Garland, little work then by by Rachel Joanne, and also just fantastic work from the central defender in Grattan.
Yeah, terrific. She read that well. She got back. She got her body in the way and actually stopped a clear.
Couple of times.
One-on-one chance for becoming a goal.
Nice.
Unorthodox flick on by number 16 there.
What we call a full body.
It works.
Yeah, you'll take that. And it worked. Right, after that little burst of excitement at the 38-minute mark on the Northcrest scoreboard, we have a right kick put away by the player we were just mentioning in Grattan. And Whittle's first to it. Beat the captain for Port Darwin. Whittaker on the ball again. Grattan in again. She's been doing a lot of work on the right side here, which is where you'd have to say most of the attacks come from Mindil, Alex.
Yeah, down this side it seems to be mostly. A couple of balls over the top from Matilda. So maybe that'll be something Dave will be talking with the girls about at half-time, just trying to get them to switch up the play a bit.
Rare error from Hannah, and often Higginson's onside. Runs at the ball. Good effort from both players. Keeper to come out. Hannah Garland on it now. Rarest mistake from her before. She'll make do. The ball's been put through lovely by Whittle. Back to Kalakis. That's a bit too far for her. But a nice play. Nice little play. Little 3 or 4 passes. Brooke Fraser involved. But the ball had too much force and too much momentum.
Yeah, just misread the run there from her teammate. But again, first game of the season, that sort of stuff will come. Yeah,
you expect to see a bit of that, don't you? Right, Carter on the ball. We've mentioned her name a lot. Doing some mountain of defensive work now. She's in a little 1-2. Looking to put it through to Garland. The Grattan is up to it again. Gives it to Doty. Doty Grace just dips one over the top. Captain there now. In Vanessa. For Port Darwin. It's come away for Kylie Whittaker. She just does a left foot.
Oh, and that's a great ball.
She's onside. She is a danger from here. She'll take the shot. Great work from Grace Doty. Alex, that is fantastic. Not only to run back, to get yourself between her and the goal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a perfect ball there from Kylie, I think it was.
Yes, Kylie Whittaker, yeah.
Oh, brilliant defending. She got her body in the way. All you need is that touch. And made young Joanne make the decision and take the shot.
Yeah, well played, Grace Doty, number 5. And equally good work from Rachel Joanne, the number 9. So real challenge between those two, and we've actually seen a battle between those two. Also, Rachel's also having to battle with Grattan, number 2. She's got 2 to deal with, and they'll need to, because she will not let up in her quest for a goal for her Mindil football team. Right, Whittaker with a left footer in. Stewart is Garland first up, made the run. No one really tracked her. She got a clean shot on it, but not enough force. Kelsey Tom puts it deep down. Right, we have Tina Stoll, she'll go back to a keeper. McWilliam, left foot, beautiful pass along the ground. That would cut the grass. That was lovely all the way along the ground. Now we go back to Ridley. No, Ridley's been dispossessed quickly by So. July So puts one across to Brooke Fraser. Unfortunately, another offside. Something Steve will be talking to him about at halftime, the coach of Port Darwin.
And yeah, in Mindil, you've got a defence there who played together for a few years there, apart from the new number 15.
Yeah, Stoll, yeah.
So they'll play that offside very well all game, I imagine.
It's a great point, Alex, because then, you know, in the position stolen in is usually Cassie William, the keeper. So Rachel Jawan and Grattan again. And Grattan just so skillful and shielded that ball safely. 1-2 bounces into the arms of her keeper, Kelsey Tom, and now Kelsey's unleashed it down in the sunny side of Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. We're rolling up into the 43rd minute of this last game of the first round of the 2021 season of the Women's Premier League in Darwin. Thank you for joining us, wherever it may be and whatever screen you are watching this on. Port Darwin new to the Premier League. They're running from left to right on your screens in their claret and blue traditional strip. We saw the men go out with the Czech version on Saturday afternoon for their win, 3-1 over Port Darwin, who's also returning to the Premier League this year in Darwin Olympic. So a 3-1 victory in the men for Port Darwin. Mindil, for the men, they had a game on Friday night, Alex, against Hellenic. They lost that 1-0, but like your game yesterday, they could have won it, actually. All right, ball back in play. And that's been put away by Caitlin Pratton, who's recovered from an early knock as she had to leave the field. Good to see her back and fit. Coming up to the 44th minute of this entertaining game of football, in which we haven't had a goal yet, but we've had opportunities. And as Alex Fulton, our expert commentator, said today, you'd have to say most of those good opportunities have fallen the way of Mindil Aces. Over the top, good kick. Gray has an opportunity, heads it down. Where will she go? Will she go to Whittaker? She won't thread it through there. Whittle's too good for that. Turns it, no look pass, trying to follow Kolakis. Can't on this occasion. Now Pierre has it. Looks around. Good defence from Marielle Joanne. She got a challenge here though, and it won't go away. And that's all she could do. Great work from Brooke Fraser. Tenacity in those little challenges.
There, yeah, and she was under pressure there by 3 Port Darwin players, so all she really had, the only
was the
option
sideline
was to,
friend.
Yeah, play it out.
Yeah. Right, can McMurray ignite something from there? She's gone across field. She's trying to find July So, and Julia Martin is there to clean that up. These two have been battling all day. They still continue with that battle. Comes into Michaela Ridley. She goes back to Martin. Martin looks up, desperately looking for Rachel Jawan, but it's going to be a short pass, which will be thankfully received by Port Darwin, and they'll move forward with their captain, Vanessa first. She's gone to ground. Dangerous Pierre Kolakis on the ball, but great work from Carter, central defender for Mindil. Goes the whistle. That is an entertaining first half. Thank you for joining us on this live streaming here at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. The audience and spectators are also appreciative of the effort in what is a really hot football field. And that's from humidity, that's from the heat and that direct sun, which we're getting less and less of as this half progresses. We'll be back after this short break with a sort of pack up and pack down and a pack apart. Or a pick apart, maybe one of those as well, of what we saw that in the first half. The score as the girls head into the sheds. Port Darwin 0, Mindil Aces exactly the same. Well, it's half time here in the Women's Premier League. Last game for the 2021 season. We're here at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. It feels like there's less heat in the air. It feels like it's going to be more comfortable for the two teams in the second half. Currently at half time, we have no goals scored. Entertaining bit of football from both sides. Port Darwin have had opportunities, but Alex Fulton, we were saying in that call, we think most of the gilt edge ones, the ones with more potential, were the Mindil Aces. Yet to get a goal either side. We'll see what the next half brings. Alex Fulton will give you some expert comments. Alex, thank you for coming in today. I just want to ask you a quick question about Port Darwin. What you've seen today, what have you liked, what do you think can be improved?
Well, with Port, like I said before, they're a well-structured team. They've actually set up well. They're keeping their positions and their shape very well. That's one thing I do like about the way they're playing. They've got number 2, is it? Rebecca, doing an outstanding job there in defence. Probably their best player in that half, I'd say. I would be saying I'm sure Steve's saying to the girls to stay on side. I think they've had about 5 offside calls, so that's just something he'll be probably wanting them to improve on in the second half.
And in that half, we saw Grattan, we talked about. We saw Grace Doty in the central defensive role. They seem, to your point, have their shape sorted. They seem to have that real vigour in defence. That vigour in the front half is resulting in offsides. So to your point, they need to address that. Now let's move to Mindil. With Mindil, again, new faces, some very established players in there, even though they're only 11 years old. What have you seen with them, and what do you expect to see for the rest of this half?
Look, I'm expecting a change in keepers maybe. Let Cassie come out. I don't know who they'll put in between the sticks, but I think they'll give her a run out. And then definitely I think you'll see them settle a bit better at the back, probably push Matilda into the midfield more. She's sort of been playing in a sweeper role, and so if Cassie's back there, I think she'll push further up the field, which will be dangerous because we know she can play those balls through and over the top.
Yeah, the two people you mentioned there, Cassie McWilliams, she's in goal at the moment. She's such a great left-handed side central defender, got a wonderful left boot on her. And also Matilda Carter you mentioned. And Matilda, as your point when you were saying in the call, she's a versatile player that can play anywhere. Moving her to the midfield, what do you expect that would come from having Carter play in the midfield?
Well, her and Tegan, unless Tegan goes in goal, will link up very well. They've played together for a number of years. They just do those 1-2s very well together. They know where each other's going to run. But as I say, Matilda can see that gap between the defenders and actually play the ball through, which will set up, obviously, young Joanne there for a good opportunity if that pays off.
Now, this is a difficult question because you don't know how they're going to go. You don't know whether they're going to make those swaps and come out of goal, or even whether Port Darwin's going to make any changes to their starting lineup. But given what you've seen so far, I'm going to ask you for a prediction. Do you think this scoreline will continue?
No, I think there'll be goals. I was just thinking a 1-1 there, but depending on who they bring in, it could potentially be a 2-1 to Mindil, I think, so far.
Okay, Nostradamus, well done. Alex Fulton, so good to have you, Alex, giving you expert comments, enjoying your company and always enjoying your comments. You know a lot about the game. My name is Bruce Stauder. Thank you for joining us on FNT TV right around the country. Hope you're enjoying what is the last game of the 2021 season, first opening round for the Women's Premier League. We have a scoreline that sits 0-0, Mindil Aces and Port Darwin. Back soon. We'll see if we get a winner. Poor Darwin a little bit late onto the pitch there, Alex. Enjoying their time in the shadow and shade over here.
Yeah,
That's,
I'm sure
we're ready to go.
enjoying the shade.
Go on, July.
Going to have a sub first. We actually mentioned just off mic about number 12 coming onto the field at some stage. Looks like it's going to be for this half.
Played for Uni Zurich.
Yeah, that's Chloe Cage-Pearson. So she'll actually join with someone she knows very well, and that's Grace Doty in the back there.
Go, Mindil.
And to your point, look what's happened.
Yep, goalkeeper swap there. So,
Yep.
Cassie's out on
You
the
are
field.
Nostradamus. Yep. So Hannah Garland's gone in goal. Was wearing 11 and now wearing 13 as Cassie McWilliam, to Alex Fulton's point of view, has come out of goal for this second half. Matilda Carter is sitting in the back line. They've moved out, actually Cassie into the midfield.
Yeah, so I wasn't quite right there. So they've moved Cassie alongside her sister and kept Matilda at the back. That'd be good to see, actually, from a neutral point of view. See how they link up well. Sisters obviously sometimes have that telepathic playing together.
They do,
on the field.
yeah, absolutely. Been playing a number of sports in the backyard for a long time. Higginson on the run, gets there early, pushes it in front of you, still has the shot and takes it. And Garland, unfortunately for Darwin, the ball was straight into the arms and knees of Hannah Garland there, the keeper. Enterprising, Alex?
Yeah, a good touch there from Higginson as well, just to take the ball slightly away from the defender, but continue with a run.
Yes, absolutely.
And she stayed onside there, so it just shows she's a very fast forward, so she doesn't actually need to sit that far forward. She can beat the defender for pace.
Yeah, busy player. Very busy player. One of those players that when you're a defender, if you take your eye off them, you could be paying a price for it. Okay, Tina Stoll on the ball, number 15 for Mindil. They're running left to right on your screens if you've just joined us. This is live streaming of the Women's Premier League here in Darwin, in the top end of Australia, the Northern Territory, the beautiful part of the world. We consider it is the beautiful part of the world. And there's July So on the run, number 3, who was busy before. She'll be liking this side of the pitch. There's plenty of shadow. She was in full sun before. Now she turns in. Gray goes in. She beats Gray. Nice work from Pierre. Kolakis puts a lovely ball through. Carter shields the player from the ball, and the player was Higginson. So Garland will pick up and have her second intervention for this second half as keeper.
Press.
Port have started off well here. They're passing the ball around nicely.
Matilda, well done.
It's and cleared away by Tegan McWilliam. But yeah, you're right. There's a few passes finding their targets. And the other thing too, also, which you've mentioned a lot, Alex, and other people who know the game well, possession is absolutely key. I mean, it's quite simple, but it's very hard to keep.
Yeah, definitely. And they're actually giving them a bit of space at the moment to actually play that ball around.
Yeah. Kolaka's not happy with that decision, but she makes her way back in. McWilliam a little bit more happy with it. We'll give it to Carter, and we'll have a restart from the Mindil defensive line. Matilda Carter moving in with her right foot. She's looking for someone to run. She's asking for a runner. She gets it now from Cassie McWilliam. And it'll come to Cassie off a rebound off So. And we'll run out of play. First engagement for Chloe Cage-Pearson. She runs a throw in over the top, trying to find... She gets the ball back. Well, she will now from Vanessa, the captain. And Cianculio. Michaela Ridley will get us restarted. Just rolling up to the 49th minute, second half, of course, of this game featuring Mindil Aces running left to right on your screens. If you just joined us, wherever you may be and whatever screens you're watching, we hope you're enjoying this live streaming on a Sunday afternoon, which is now turning into beautiful conditions for a game of football. That's Martin. Cage-Pearson in there as well. And Chloe's come on and as a sub in the second half, and she's going to settle in that left back position for Port Darwin. So the defensive four is for Port Darwin. You have Cage Pearson, then Doty. You have Grattan. And on the other side is number 7, Whittle, who have been very sound in their defence in the first half. They'll need to be in the second half. There'll be more opportunities from Mindil. Given Cassie McWilliam joins her sister Tegan in the midfield, you would expect there will be opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. Just had another run there from Amber, putting the pressure on the defence. Matilda had no option other than to kick it out there.
Yeah.
She's going to be dangerous this half.
And to your point, it's really been all Port Darwin so far.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, the first 5 minutes.
These two will battle.
Yeah, there's been some good
one-on-ones
tonight.
So that's Koulakis number 10, Pierre, and McWilliam Tegan for Mindil. And Tegan's wearing 7. They're both standing in the fading light on this Sunday afternoon. Local times around 10 to 6. A little bit later. Be about 5 past, actually 10 past 6. Ball's gone. Carter puts a foot up to it straight away. Stoll comes in again and adds to it. Nice interception by Tegan McWilliam. That beats Gray. Sianculo puts the ball across Vanessa's. Ball's been chased by Brooke Fraser, and her and Stoll come together. And it's going to be a little victory and a long 45 battle in the second half for Mindil.
Yeah, I think the change putting for Port there, Chloe on left back, has allowed that July to push up further, and that's where most of the attacking options coming from at the moment for Port.
Yeah, so good move by Steve Brockway, their coach at Port Darwin. And something that Alex had mentioned, that they're in the halftime assessment, that he likes to keep his team in shape and to keep their shape. And Alex, you've noticed that that's exactly what they've been doing.
Yeah, they're very well disciplined, and I know Steve's done a lot of work with them in pre-season, working on shape. And both coaches, they're very astute tactically, so they're not afraid to make changes middle of game.
And they both have, to your point. The assistant referee on the other side will be loving the fact that he's in some shade. Not all of it, but in some. Hat on his head. Long ball through. Carter will clear up. Will she go to a keeper? Not with Higginson on the inside, she won't. She goes upfield. Finds Marielle Jawan, who goes into Stoll. Stoll puts her right foot to it. Not her best kick. It will fall for Gray, or will So get there first? So does. Comes back to her with her pink salmon bright boots on. Number 3 for Port Darwin, the diminutive number 3. And Whittle again pushing down that right flank. This time finding McMurray. Little battle there between McMurray and Stoll. Comes to a throw in just under the Diamond Barbers sign there, the billboard sign on the far side from where we are in the broadcast area. Joanne just dips a little one over the back. McMurray again. Just running down a tight little alley at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, it's all just up in the corner and going out for a few throws in there.
It's just like the corridor. That's it.
But
there's
then,
plenty more acreage on this pitch.
There's a lot more space, so all it takes is that ball over the top and open up an opportunity.
Right, we'll see if Gray can do exactly what you just said, Alex. Cassie McWilliam goes over the top, looks for a run from Whittaker. Grattan goes back with pace, comfortable on the ball as normal, with her patience, and puts it over the sideline. To your point, Alex, that was the move that Mindil needed to make and to sort of spread this field.
They didn't look to switch it. Probably would have been the better option.
Yep. Alex Fulton giving us expert commentary this afternoon and early evening on this live streaming of the Women's Premier League here in Darwin. My name is Bruce Stalder. Thank you for joining us on FNT TV. Wherever you're watching this and whatever screens you may be watching on. Thank you for your support of women's football in the Northern Territory. Right, keeper. We'll take that harmless endeavour there from Mindil. And the keeper is Kelsey Tom, all in pink. She's going to take this one or leave it for Grattan? No, it'll be Grattan taking it. Got good technique on this right side. And she'll put her right boot to it. She's had distance for most of the time she's done it. This time she's gone across field trying to find Higginson, but Julia Martin gets there first, 18. Puts the ball through, trying to find Joanne on a run. Ball had too much pace.
Yeah, just a bit too much pace there, and she could have looked for Whitaker just right to the left.
William trying to shield this ball out of play. She won't be able to do that. She has a nice little turn on the inside. Now she puts one over the top. If this falls well for Joanne, but keeper Tom up to the alert, out early. What you want your keeper to do is make a decision and go.
That's it, and she communicated it to her defensive line too, so that there wasn't any confusion there, which can sometimes happen.
Yep. Great point, Alex. Communication's so key in your back four and your keeper, or if you're back three, depending what you're running and your setup. Good strong tackle. And that's what we expect from Chloe Cage Pearson.
Yep.
On an equally strong person. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Right, Cage Pearson with a long throw over the top. Good strong throw. Goes through. Higginson just gets around Ridley. It's a foot race now between Ridley and Higginson. Higginson's just got the ball and has skipped away from her. Carter will put a nice gentle pass back to Ridley. Really has opportunity to go to McWilliam, does that. There's a 1-2 back on there. That's a lovely bit of work. If this can be picked up, Cage Pearson in there to make sure it's not. It'll run out of... Quick throw's called. Gray's now on the run.
So now.
Yep. Will she have an opportunity to put it across to Whitaker? She turns on the inside. She has a left foot. She's got to get around Grattan. Cassie McWilliam will have a shot from there. She'd like that again on her favoured side as well.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed, I think.
I think that was Watermelon. She went, "Oh, you beauty." But put it well past the right upright of the Port Darwin goal, over the perimeter fence as well, where some of the boys are helping out by not putting it over the fence. And Brockway's had enough of that, so he kicks it over. Now we have 2 balls on the pitch, as always the case.
Yeah, nice chance there, and it all started from that quick throw.
Yeah.
Taking the opportunity.
And in a game, Alex, Fulton, you can have pace changes, and those pace changes can work for you, and there's a good example of just upping the ante.
Yep, that's it.
Getting it underway. Right, Grace Doty on the ball. Ex of Uni Azuri. Pierre Kalakis. Ex of Darwin Olympic. And now we have young July So on the run. Now she's got the ball off a rebound off Ridley. Ridley comes back again. Body check. Turns on the inside. Good work from McMurray to clean up. Continues on her way. Puts a little dinking left footer in, but it'll just harmlessly bounce once into the hands of Hannah Garland.
Yeah, good defending there from Ridley. She got back. She read it well. Just had no support, unfortunately, to play it out to.
Yeah, a bit isolated. But we have seen some enterprising pass-on-pass from Port Darwin. They have had the ascendancy in this first, 13, 14 minutes. Cassie McWilliam on a beautiful ball over the top. Rachel Joanne on the run. She's a long way from goal. She's got Grattan coming back, solid as ever. They come together. Still remains with Joanne. She puts it back to Whitaker. Whitaker's trying to find Gray. Now it'll get towards Gray, but interception by the captain of Port Darwin, number 6. Pushes it up to McMurray, who really has a roving passport. She's everywhere. And we're going to have a sub early on at almost the 59th minute mark.
And a substitution there, Isabella Millhouse, number 14, joining the fray for Port Darwin.
So sub there taken by Port Darwin. Millhouse has gone on, number 14. Isn't it the case? You get injured and you have to be replaced. You're the furthest point from your technical area. You got to do the walk,
Yeah.
the long walk.
It's a very long walk.
So she's going to have to do that right around. And from here, it's either McMurray or Pratton.
I think McMurray went off.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. She's put in a lot of Ks in that first
has,
59 minutes. And we'll enjoy maybe just getting some of the heat out of the legs with that walk. But she was on the furthest point from the technical area. And still making her way around. Right, we're back up in the midfield here where Grattan, who's been dominant in both halves so far. Kalakis on the ball. Port Darwin has an opportunity to move forward. This will go to their captain. Will she get there first? No, Julia Martin does.
Yeah, but that was a good interception from Martin there.
Yeah, good effort from Julia. Again, Ridley, Higginson. Everyone's bunched. Higginson's looking for opportunity to lay this on to somebody. It comes from her captain back to Higginson. Carter gets in with a definitive kick away, but only as far as the sub Millhouse. And this will run to Garland. From keeper to central defender, and that's now it's getting some movement forward for Mindil. Cage Pearson got there, the right boots slid away a little.
And it looks like the other change is Joanne's more on the left front line there, and Whitaker's moved in the middle. Maybe that's to hold the ball up a bit better.
We'll see how that plays out. Alex Fulton give his expert comments and analysis here today in this Women's Premier League match. We have 61 minutes on the Northcrest scoreboard. We have no score as yet. We have Mindil Aces in their traditional yellow and black running from left to right on your screens. And they're up against Port Darwin, who are new to the Women's Premier League. And we welcome them and look forward to how they go over the next 20 rounds. And they may feature in the finals. Everyone has that opportunity from round one. Millhouse involved early, wins a throw-in for her team. Whittle moves up to take that, number 7. The lights are on, little effect, but they will shortly. Sun's setting back. We'll have another spectacular sunset as we do in the Northern Territory in around 30 minutes' time. So, Alex, with your predictions at half-time, we've had Cassie move into midfield. We've had the change. Had Cassie come out of goals, then move into the midfield. We'll have some swaps here with Joanne and Whitaker. Are you seeing what their coach Dave McWilliam and Ray would be trying to do with the team?
I think whether that's a pre-agreed thing they're going to do without a sort of named keeper to give Cassie the chance. I actually enjoying seeing her play a bit more forward. So she is a dangerous player. But I'd say of the two half-time changes, it's probably Ports that's playing off a bit better at the moment, allowing July to push up a bit higher on the left-hand side. It's opening up some good opportunities. And
right on cue, July has on the ball. So July with the pink boots is on the run there. That's come off. She's put a lovely ball through to Higginson if she gets there. And Higginson and Garland come together. And that's to be expected. Higginson won't give up, and Garland neither.
That's right. All the players today, they give 110% and they keep running, just to close down the ball or even to support their players. So it's good to see.
You'll feel that one, July. Anything from
Never turn
Chloe. She knows how to kick a ball. Right, Cassie McWilliam does a back heel, finds Gray. Gray skips across there. She's got 3 defenders. She's beaten 2 of them. She's still going through. A miraculous move through the middle. Rhea Gray. Can she do something with it? She's got to get past the ever-reliable Grace Doty and Grattan at the back. And they get involved and solve the day for Port Darwin again. Play on, says the referee. Whitaker with the ball. Now she pull it back. In Australia, that was really sensational work from Rhea Gray.
Yeah, I think she just run out of a bit of energy there for that final burst into the box.
Well, she went through half the team.
Hard work to get there.
Yeah, so no wonder she had to spend some energy doing that.
But they've won a free kick out of it here, so see what Cassie can do. With
I won't ask you for what side of the pitch. We've got a 3-person wall. She moves down the left foot. It's a favoured side.
Oh.
Can she get the rebound? And Joanne went for it.
Yeah, I think she would have liked to have just placed it a bit higher there.
Yeah. You can see what she was trying to do. That was her preferred side. She's going to put a ball through. Tom versus Joanne. Tom goes down, and expert work from her. Down on her back early, low down, and collected that ball.
Yeah, keeper's done well for Port the second half. She's come out and
then she's picked up.
Yep.
In the last 5 minutes. Crowd's enjoying it. Here in good numbers to support the women's game here at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium, top end of the continent of Australia. Fantastic part of the world. Right, Marielle Jonard just can't keep that in, so it'll be a throw in. No, it's going to be swatched over. It will be hers. She takes it, goes down to her sister. She turns it inside to Cassie McWilliam, who's probably going to go to her sister. It gets in front of her, but will she get to it? No. Captain gets to it and brings it up. There she goes. To your point, Alex, it's been a really, really good move for Port Darwin. She's going to give Matilda a yellow, I think, is she? No, she's going to give her a red.
Oh.
She's your last play.
I'm a bit surprised at that one, actually, Bruce. I'd like to see the replay. It looked like Higginson just fell over.
I think you'll find the surprise is shared by, first of all, Matilda Carter, by the coach, Dave McWilliam.
And especially if she knew her keeper was coming out to get it would be very strange.
Well, you can see this again on live streaming, and that's one of the advantages of having the game presented, so you can see what the decision was and why it was made. But all we do know is that the fantastic player for Mindil, Matilda Carter, is no longer involved.
Yeah, that's going to change the game up now. She's been their rock at the back. They may have to drop Cassie back in that back line. Yeah,
to your point, they'll make amendments. Okay, Koulakis on the ball. She moves in, takes the shot, Garland to it. Into her hands, bounce down and keeps control of it. Over the top goes the ball. Cassie McWilliam on it. Goes to her sister. Interception by the captain, Vanessa. She's got energy. She smells an opportunity. Higginson comes out. This goes to the feet of Fraser. Good work from Stoll. Koulakis comes in with a right footer. Bouncing around like a pinball machine. Comes out to the far side where there's a race on for Joanne and the substitute Millhouse. And that'll be to the favour and advantage of Mindil with that throw in. Wow, what's just happened in the last 3 minutes, Alex?
Yeah, as I say, I'd love to see that again because it did not look like a sending off
offence
for me.
Well, maybe something to do with the last person in the defensive line. I wasn't quite sure. I couldn't see if there was anyone on the other side. Didn't know where Stoll was or Joanne.
She was definitely the last player. But,
okay. Thank you. You saw it.
Looked like a challenge.
Okay, more like a fall.
A fall. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, ball comes off Doty. Paige Pearson gets in and clean it up. Julia Martin has been really vigorous on this side. Now she has an opportunity. Julia's going to have to stretch out. Grace Doty will be there first, and she'll go to the sideline, as she does. She'll push it to this side, and it'll come off Julia in the end. Right, 68 minutes. We've had a real sensation in that half with Matilda Carter. Clearly one of the best players on the field has just been sent from the field. Alex Fulton, our expert, is trying to understand why. But Matilda has gone. Mindil now have to regroup 10 v 11.
Yeah, look, sometimes when a team does go down 10 players, they actually end up working a bit harder and surprising the opposition who get a bit slack, so might not be a foregone conclusion here.
No, well put, Alex. You often see that, don't you?
Yep.
It affects both sides. To your point, one's uplifted, the other one gets lazy. Right, you can see where I'm in an uplift. Look at her go. That's Tegan McWilliam doing the work of two people.
She'll keep fighting.
Yeah, she will.
100%.
Captain Vanessa puts a ball through. Millhouse runs onto it, and Joanne gets back. That's Marinelle Joanne. And she'll go around Millhouse, push it forward, and use her sideline to her advantage.
Yeah, she's done well today, Marinelle. She's had some tough opponents to face up against, and she's done all the right things.
Right, Millhouse dinks one back to Whittle. Whittle's going to have to go back to Grattan. No, she turns inside off the no-look pass. And that cross, had it been another 2 metres this way, may have had some danger to it. It's gone out harmlessly in the end. Right, Hannah Garland out to Cassie McWilliam. To your point, Alex, she's dropped back out of the midfield. Will anchor the central defence in what will be a 3-person defence. Lyon looking at it, or no, Tina will stay there. This is one over the top. And Garland has that covered for her side, Mindil. No scorers yet as we move up to the 70-minute mark of this Women's Premier League match here at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. Thank you so much to McDonald's for their support of the women's game. McDonald's will bring you all women's football. Premier, reserves, junior, mini-roos, and every special football endeavour we do with women and girls, McDonald's will be supporting us on. Thank you to them. Players down, referee hasn't seen it yet. Now she's been alerted to it. It's cramp. We're going to see a fair bit of this, Alex.
As I say, I think that's the first time I've ever seen a keeper cramp in yesterday's Premier League men's game.
Yeah, exactly. Right, ball on. 2 players out of the play at the moment, doing some medical work. Players still continuing. Put it out, Hannah. Put it out, mate. Goes to Sotho. Sotho. Ridley pushes it up. Martin has it. Martin goes on the inside. Gray. Gray goes back to Tegan. Tegan's now pushing it out. Martin does it out. Now we have it out.
Yep. A few yells there to kick it out, and I don't think they were quite heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Player welfare is key. This player's been down for some time. Needs to be addressed. Right, players run to their technical areas to get some water and last-minute instructions from their coaches, particularly Mindil. You can imagine Dave would like to provide some advice on how he thinks 10's going to go against 11 and what he'd like to see. He's doing that now, talking to one of the substitutes he's about to bring on. And Steve Brockway the same with his team. How do they take on a team one less? And to your point, Alex Fulton, don't get suckered into believing it's going to come.
That's right. I don't think they will, because Port are very energetic and they do fight for every ball, but it's something that can happen. But we know Mindil, they do all regroup pretty well, and they will keep fighting to the last minute. So we saw that in last year's grand final.
Yeah, fantastic match last year. Fantastic match. I'm so pathetic. I was watching that about 2 weeks ago. Sorry.
I don't think that's pathetic.
I loved it, watching it again.
No, it's good from a neutral point of view when you get a game like that where it's so close and it goes to penalties. And that's all that splits the team in the end of the day.
Well, hopefully, Joanne's back on her feet and okay. She's such a live wire. Number 9, she can't come on yet until the referee calls her on.
Yep.
Way underway at the moment. Gray in there against Port Darwin's captain. She wins that one. Julia Martin now has an opportunity, looks up. That one rolls off her foot. Cage Pearson goes bang. And now the ball's down the other end, where Koulakis and McWilliam will continue their challenges. It will be a penalty. It will be a free kick. Thank you, Alex. And Marielle Joanne is now joined by her sister Rachel, who's overcome that. Well, we hope she's overcome fully that.
Yeah, she looks like she's up and
cramp.
Going again. She hasn't really had many balls played to her in the last 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
So hopefully Mindil can involve her a bit more in the play.
She's moving across now and looks okay. There's her sister now with the ball, Marinelle. She has an opportunity to Rachel. Rachel's come back from a problem now on the full stretch. Now she put one through to Whittaker. Whittaker and Doty on it. That's Doty on the ball now. She's Port Darwin central defender. Julia Martin and does a little nutmeg of Cage Pearson. Cage Pearson goes back and clears that up. Doty on the ball. She launches it downfield. Finds Grattan, who's pushed forward. I love the way they swap around. So Grattan's now in the midfield. She's been very dominant at the back in the central defensive role. Her and Tegan McWilliam working hard at it. Tegan wins that. Gray puts one through to McWilliam. She's on the run. Great challenge from and pace from Whittle.
Yeah, that's just a good position and body there. Fair challenge.
And so some pace too, Alex. Number 7.
Yeah.
She really cut the distance between herself and McWilliam very quickly.
And that's it. Williams is no slow player, to get some pace.
Here the call, easy out to Millhouse, Isabella Millhouse. Substitute for Port Darwin. Looks like we're going to have a sub for Mindil now. Their coach is getting frustrated. He doesn't have his paper to do his substitution. They found that now for him. I'm hoping that it's Bianca Brain and not Bianca Brown or something.
Yes. Will be an unfortunate typo all season long.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it will be. Right, we will make a substitution.
And Carly Whittaker comes from the kids from Mindil. After a good 75 minutes, and out goes the substitution. Number 8, Bianca Gray.
Right, Ridley now with a throw-in from the grandstand side. 76 minutes about to roll over on the North Crest scoreboard. Mindil and Port Darwin yet to trouble the scorers. And Bianca's already involved. Seconds and she has a first touch. Keeper comes out and Kelsey Tom just puts it over the top, trying to find her captain. Captain's first touch is a goodie, puts the one over the top, wanting Higginson to run onto that, but it's going to be a header. Watch out for this player, Grattan. She'll come involved and she won't relent. She'll follow this ball through. Number 2 for Port Darwin. There she is. Cassie McWilliam asking for some support.
Yeah, that's probably a good switch, pushing Pratton a bit more forward there. She's certainly got the talent to play that ball through to the 2 forwards.
Yeah, good technique, strong on the ball, and just has good vision too, Alex. Some of the runs she's made already in that midfield, hasn't yet been given the pass that she needs, but she will. Right, here we go. A very fast Whittle over 20 minutes, gets there early. Rachel Jawan and her in a locked battle. It's come out for Whittle. Now Millhouse is in one with her sister, meaning Jawan's sister, Marinelle Jawan. Cassie William in there again, working hard. Higginson goes down. Now there's one push through. Bianca's on her own, 2 defenders. She'll go to the central defender in Grace Doty first. Good pressure on her, and resulted with the ball going out of play. That's what you want from your players, that extra effort. Yep. Off the ball, really, but just made and determined run and put her opponent under pressure. Stoll back to McWilliam, trying to get a way out of that, and does so with a throw-in. Ball needs to be moved out of there as quick as they can. And to your point, Alex, maybe across onto this side of the field.
Yeah, it's very congested there, all in the middle.
Right, a throw over to Tegan McWilliam. She has the capacity to either run to goal, and she's going to take that option of run to goal. She's going to have to put up with that number 2 again. And when I say number 2, it's Grattan, who was just up here on attacking rate a second ago. Now back doing that last-ditch defending work for her football team, which is Port Darwin, in the claret and blue, running from right to left on your screens. Rachel Jawan, she'll have a shot from there, knowing Rachel, and she does. Goes to the feet, or the shins of the keeper. And Kelsey Tom challenging someone to run at her, and Bianca now does. Referee asking the keeper to get the play underway. Skips past number 6, now goes to number 9. 9 will go across to number 11, and I'm talking about Port Darwin here. Out comes the keeper.
Yeah, it's dangerous ball.
Wearing number 1 in Hannah Garland. Great interception there. And we said earlier, Alex, as a keeper, make a decision, go early.
That's it. She made the right decision there. You can't leave a ball in that sort of area with 2 forwards who, got speed and can get on the end of anything.
So, Alex, we've gone 10 people versus 11 people.
Yeah.
So Mindil's down one player. Matilda Carter sensationally sent from the field earlier. Red carded, which is perplexing you, Alex, and quite a number of other people as well, I'm
I'll
afraid.
be going home watching that
Yeah.
just to have a look, and I know Matilda will probably be a bit upset about that. She's only young. It's probably the first time she's ever been given a card, I imagine.
Yeah, probably.
She's not a malicious player or, known for any sort of bad challenges, so it's quite a surprise.
No, but it'll be part of her learnings as a footballer. And one thing she does do is learn.
Yeah,
Matilda
definitely.
Carter, she's a great, if you're a teacher, she's a great student. She wants to learn. Hannah Garland under pressure from Higginson. Good football from both
Yeah,
Koulakis
that's what you
and
want
Higginson.
from your strikers,
Yeah.
that pressure on the keeper.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Yes, Tegan, well done.
Tegan in there with a header. Nice intervention from her. Going to be a substitution again.
And in the 80th minute substitution, Julia Martin, number 18, has come from the pitch, and her replacement is Lara Penny.
Foot race. I'd put my money on McWilliam. She's in a body check again. Couldn't get it. Great work from July. So, she doesn't give up either.
No, that was a good tussle there again. Williams she uses her body so well. She's obviously a tall player too against a slightly shorter player, so sometimes you have an advantage there.
Yeah, I think she's slightly shorter than her twin too. Oh, so that's the ball that's come away. Now the foot race is on, and Bianca has pace, number 8, the sub for Mindil. And we're seeing Lara Penny out there as well. Ball's gone back. Keeper goes in. This ball's going to fall for Gray. She has an opportunity to keep it on the head. And Cage Pearson comes in with a strong one, throws the right hand back.
No, that's a
And
good
the fire
opportunity
station
there
loved
for
it as
Mindil.
well. Larrakia Park right next to the fire station here. The boys come in, and boys and girls, of the fire brigade have to sound the alarm to get the gate open when they come back from work. And the gate's now open, they'll move in. Seemed like they were enjoying Cage Pearson's tackle. Right, 3 people in, 3 Port Darwin defenders in the wall. Casey goes over the side and scores a goal. There it is. And who else but Cassie McWilliam, first half goalkeeper, second half goal scorer.
Oh, that was a lovely free kick. As we said with the last one she just took, she took that one slightly higher, so she's learnt from that first one and just placed it so well.
Have you got to set the comms together, you two? Because she did. She just put it exactly that moment higher, and it just
power,
beat.
It was just pure placement.
Yeah, it was lovely placed. And Kelsey Tom, the keeper, just couldn't do anything with that. Right, we have a 1-0 scoreline in favour of Mindil Aces. Port Darwin now will be revved up and energised to get one back and get some parity on that scoreboard.
Yeah.
Can they do it?
There you go.
And there's one of the players that you think can. In Grattan, she's moved forward. Unlooses Higginson. Higginson turns around, looking for a run through from both Brooke, Fraser and Grattan. But Garland there first. The keeper for Mindil. Right, Tegan McWilliam. She puts an up and under in. Chloe Cage Pearson to it. Chloe pushes it back to the keeper. A little bit of miscommunication. Keeper now onto it. Lara Penny going up to put some pressure on her, and that's been put out of play.
Yeah, good bit of pressure again there from Mindil. Their 2 substitutions have come on and just kind of spiced it up there in the front line with a bit of speed and pace.
Yeah, well noted. Right, Lara Penny puts one on the inside. Can't find the intended target, which was Gray, so it was intercepted by July So. She now has her team moving forward. That team is Port Darwin, but an interception by Michaela Ridley has closed that off. Now it'll be a rebound. The dangerous Grattan on the ball. And Rebecca goes across to Millhouse. Izzy Millhouse is intercepted by Tina Stoll. energy, pace has picked up. 84th minute, Alex.
Yeah, I think that goal in the kind of dying 10 minutes of the game, it's really going to actually make the next 10 minutes pretty exciting to watch.
So you'll expect a lot of movement and a lot of energy in this
Port
next.
will be pushing for an equaliser, and Mindil, they'll want to just keep that score as it is.
Can you get in a defensive framework in your head too? Like, trying to keep them out?
Oh, look.
Would you take the opportunity to attack?
If it was me there, I'd be sitting back and putting 10 players behind the ball, keeping that 1-0 scoreline.
Let's see what they do. And then if they had 10 players, they do it.
Yeah.
So they've got 9 at the moment out on the outfield.
The ball.
Yep. And there's 11 players in herself. Tegan Williams just been everywhere. Marinelle Jawan offside, but a lovely ball from Tegan McWilliam.
Brilliant ball, yep. And a nice touch from Joanne there.
She's such a fit kid. Like, this is the 85th minute. She's been running, pushing, charging, battling from the get-go. Tegan McWilliam.
Yep. Both the McWilliams sisters, outstanding athletes because they both do AFL and soccer players too.
Yep, keeps them fit and healthy. Captain of Port Darwin in there, Vanessa Cianciulli, and we'll get the pronunciation, Vanessa, of your name correct when we get the phonetic spelling provided to us. Right, Rachel Jawan showing some skills, turns on the inside, goes over the top, finds Bianca Brain. Bianca's the sub, has just come on. She's still put the ball, she puts it back to Tegan McWilliam. Tegan goes back to Gray. Gray's getting a call both on her left and right. She goes back to McWilliam, and Tegan can't make much of that. It fell awkwardly for her.
Yeah.
This ball's come away. Lucky opportunity now. There's a run. Lara Penny on it. Takes the shot. Great work from the keeper. Now the shot's taken. There's a goal. There's a second goal for Mindil from the substitute, Bianca Brain. Alex, it can go your way some days and the bouncers don't. That went off the keeper. She came out.
She came out so well, but substitute there was just in the right place, and all she had to do was dink it in the back of the net. Good substitutions there from Dave McWilliams.
Oh, that's a great story for Bianca. She'll be so excited about that.
Yep. And as we were saying, with 10 men, and they've got 2 goals in the last few minutes. So
now I could be wrong, but I think that's her first Women's Premier League match too.
I think so. I don't recognise her from last season.
Yep.
And not a name I recognise, so this could well be her debut.
Yeah.
And a substitution for Port Darwin there, Jordan McCracken is on the pitch. Jordan wears the number plate 16.
Well, what an eventful 10 minutes. 2 goals to Mindil, a send-off to Mindil.
Yes,
and they just had all the momentum, Alex.
It's been very exciting, and I wouldn't say there won't be another goal in the last few minutes now either.
And to your point at half-time, you said the coach's decisions and the substitutions or movements they make were really key, and that's been the case.
Yeah, I mean, Port made those changes to bring Chloe on. That gave them the advantage, but this last 10 minutes of bringing on number 8 Bianca and number 17 for Mindil, it's made the difference.
Good work from Grace Doty. Sub again now for Mindil.
Substitution for Mindil. Anna Zimmerman.
Goes over the top of Cage Pearson. Now there's a foot race, 2 against 1. Now it's 1 against 1. Gray and Pearson. And Chloe's going to shield that away really comfortably for Port Darwin. 2-0 is the scoreline on the Northcrest scoreboard. Mindil Aces 2, Port Darwin 0. Those 2 goals came very quickly in the last 10 minutes. And momentum certainly with the last year's grand finalists, who've got a very different squad out there today. I noticed Jariah Kirby's not there, one of their most experienced players. She's actually having a year off. She's going to be in the technical area. She's a coach today.
And young Annabelle Kivett, they haven't got her up front.
Yeah. And they're two. You put those two players in any side, they make a major difference. Kivett with her incredible athleticism and that speed. And right, corner kick taken by Cassie McWilliam. Goal scorer from a set piece. Got them underway with that lovely left footer. She does the left footer again. Good length. Comes to the feet of Ridley. Ridley can't do much with it. It goes back now to Joanne. Joanne goes to her sister. Rachel now goes back out to Marinelle Joanne. We're coming up to the 90 minutes mark. Ball still remains with Mindil. The light's fading here. We're getting the full effect of the lights. Now it's a foot race. Brooke Fraser's not given up all day, still on the chase. And who else is there? Tegan McWilliam.
Yep. And she did everything right there as a defender. She just shielded the ball and took it away from the player.
There'll be 1 minute of time added on. 1 minute.
So we've got a 1 minute of time additional. We'll see if Port Darwin can get one back and go into the training session this week with the encouragement of a goal. They should be encouraged anyhow, Alex. This is the first hit out in Premier League, first time, first season.
Yeah, look,
a lot to see.
Yeah,
a lot to like, actually.
They can't really be too disheartened with their effort today. It's been pretty even.
It has.
And they've had their chances too.
This is a player that's really impressed. Not a lot of her, but she's just such a goer and running all day. And she was made to come up further up the field and had real effect there.
That's right, yeah.
As did Millhouse when she came on. And this one, Higginson, will go all day and still is well and truly into the dying embers of this 1 minute of a time added on. Behind her is Grattan. There goes the whistle. Crowd's appreciative, as we are, and I hope you are at home. We have a result, a 10-men team in terms of 10 players on the pitch for Mindil have defeated Port Darwin 2-0. On behalf of Football Northern Territory, I hope you brought and enjoyed this live streaming this afternoon. We'll take a short break, have one of the players come up and have a chat, and we'll bring it all to a close. Repeating again, Mindil 2, Port Darwin 0. This is the first round of the Women's Premier League for the season 2021 here in Darwin. As we have a most spectacular sunset right behind us here at Larrakia Park Darwin Football Stadium. A really entertaining game of football. It featured a club that's in the Premier League for women here for the very first time in Port Darwin. So happy to have their number 2, Rebecca Grattan. Rebecca, first of all, just on a personal thing about your own performance, you were playing in the back, you came up midfield, you've got an engine on you. I know you're up from Sydney, but how's this heat for you?
It's pretty hot. Yeah, it's pretty unusual to play in this sort of heat. It's pretty sweaty work, so yeah.
Enjoy it though?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
All right, Alex has got a couple of questions for you. Alex Fulton, our expert commentator today.
Yeah, so I know Steve has you guys pretty well trained on keeping your shape. How do you feel you went as a team today?
Yeah, pretty well. Trying out a new sort of formation. So I hear, I'm new to the team, but I think it's our formation at the moment is new for the team as well. So we're kind of still feeling it out a little bit, I think. Yeah.
And going down 2-0 there at the end, but you'd be disappointed not to have come away with a goal maybe. Definitely got plenty of chances in the second half.
Yeah, I think we played pretty well, but just unlucky, I guess, and a few things to work on. Yeah.
Now, Beck, we have a lot of young kids watching this, and as you know, you're now forever in YouTube. It'll be there forever. Some of the kids watching you today would have really liked 2 things about it. You've got a very, very solid technique on your right side. You know, you do take some right kicks really well. Are you going to be doing those sort of set pieces all year?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We've trained for them a little bit, so I think we'll be doing them here and there. But I'm sure we can add some new things in as well as we go.
And are you a player that started playing as a young, playing our game, football, the beautiful game, playing the only game, the round game, the world game, sorry. But were you playing from a young age?
Yeah, I think I started playing when I was about 8, and I've been playing ever since. Yeah, so.
And you're just up here since January, so the general question is, have you found the car parks too big for you?
Well, we got a pretty big car before we moved up here, so I haven't got used to driving it yet. Yeah.
Okay. We have the biggest car parks in the world here in Northern Territory. They are massive, and they're for big, massive cars that get out. And I hope you do, unlike a lot of people who live here, actually go to Kakadu, go down to Litchfield. This is an amazing place, and if you get time, take yourself and family and enjoy what is, we think, one of the most special parts of the planet.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing here in Darwin. We're really loving it, yeah.
Well, Beck, we love having you here. What we saw today, we want to see you next over the next 20 rounds. Good luck. Stay fit. Stay here for now. Alex Fulton, as usual, great to have you on board. My name is Bruce Stalder. For all of you who we thank you for watching whatever screens it was around the country. The Women's Premier League here. Round 1 is now completed. The scoreline today, Mindil 2, Port Darwin 0. We'll see you next Friday night. Don't miss it, 6:30, same channel, same place, same beautiful game.